Um, Amy was just, you always talk about someone, you say, what a wonderful person. And sometimes that's true, and sometimes it isn't so true. In Amy's case, it's just absolutely, flawlessly true. She was a fantastic person. We were blessed to have her here at the Ice House for all those years. And Sean, our manager, last Christmas, just before Christmas, gave all the managers a Christmas gift. It was a holiday tin of peanut brittle. And he put them in all the little boxes we have in the office there. And as Christmas came, all of them were gone except for one. And that box was in Amy's area. And as each week and month went by, I would go in the office, I'd get my mail, I would do other things, and I'd look in, and there was that tin of peanut brittle still there. And the months went on, and I realized, I looked at it, and it would let me know, obviously, that it had been a longer and longer period of time since Amy had been here, had been able to be here. And we missed her. We missed her a lot. And even the people who work here now, who've worked here less than a year, who don't know her, they have felt from other people, they've heard about Amy, and they miss her too. So I just wanted to welcome you here, say a few words about Amy, let you know that after we're done with our part here, that there will be some food and drinks up in the upper area there, and we'll have a little party in honor of Amy, and we'll do some laughing up there and have a good time and remember all the wonderful times that Amy had here with the employees, with the comics, and with our customers. So I want to bring up a friend and also someone who worked at the Ice House as our MC for a number of years, and Marko. Charlie, you want to come up here? And
by the way, we are used to applauding here, and it's okay to applaud loudly. Go ahead and give a big hand for Bob Fisher for letting us do this here. Bob, thank you for letting us have this event here, an evening in which we remember and celebrate the life of Amy Bernard-Herman. And we're going to kick things off right now. And Bob, we appreciate you not only doing this tonight, but having this club. This is more than just a comedy club. It is a family. Give Bob another big hand for making this possible. And Amy was such a key part of that family. In case, I recognize many of you, in case you don't remember me, my name's Charlie Marko. I had the privilege of working here for the better part of the 90s. I was house MC here from about 90 through 99. And during that time, I got to know Amy. And Amy and Jeff became, during that time, and since the time I stopped working here, truly like family. I mean, Amy, the minute you met her, she felt like a sister, didn't she? I mean, she was a person who would do anything for you. A person who would make you feel better. A person who let you know everything was going to be okay. Because doing comedy can be a very chaotic thing, all right? This can be just a beehive of activity. But Amy was calm through it all, always had a smile on her face. No matter what she did, she seemed to be overqualified for it. Amy just got things done. She was one of the most together people I've ever met in my life, and it was such a privilege to know her. And throughout the time afterwards, Amy and Jeff have been like family to me. They were there at my wedding. Anytime I ever needed anything, they were there. Now, we all have met and gotten to know Amy from sort of different angles. And I've spoken to Jeff, and I've gotten some information about Amy, so sort of know the story of her life, because we all met her at different times, right? And by the way, on behalf of Amy's mother, Harriet, who is here. Where are you, Harriet? Are you here? Yeah, there's Harriet right here. Her brothers, Steve and Dan. Are you here right now? Steve and Dan. There's Dan right there. Dan, thank you for coming all the way from New Hampshire. And Steve came from Las Vegas, and they'll be coming up a little later, and I think they have something they'd like to share with us, and you all can if you'd like to, and I'll let you know how that works. And of course, on behalf of Jeff, we'd like to thank you for being here. And I just want to say before I go any further, if you want a definition of good husband, I can define it in 2 words: Jeff Herman. Jeff, you're such a great husband to Amy. You made her so happy. Amy was born August 25th, 1955 in Lewiston, Maine, and that's where she grew up. She went to high school there. Afterwards, she went to college in Rhode Island. And After she graduated from college, her and some of her girlfriends decided they would go on a great cross-country trip, sort of explore the United States kind of thing. Amy ended up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And Amy was the kind of person who liked to pursue her passion. She was very passionate about skiing. In Jackson Hole, Wyoming, a great ski resort, was a great place for her to work. She worked at a bar there that is very famous called the $1 Million Cowboy Bar. And Jeff tells me that when she worked there, it was worth $2 million because that's what she added to the place. And that's what Jeff told me, and I really do believe that. She moved to Los Angeles in the early 1980s. Shortly after that, she got into a business that her mother introduced her to. And Harriet, if you don't mind me saying a little bit about this, it was kind of like a Tupperware party thing. But instead of Tupperware, they actually sold lingerie, right? It was a party where they sold lingerie, and this was to women, right, Harriet? You sold the lingerie. It was like it was called undercover wear, and she did. Yeah, it was, yeah. So it was kind of like Tupperware party for lingerie, which they have now, but it wasn't quite as racy. And Harriet did very well at that, and you inspired Amy to be a great business person, and I think she gets a lot of her business acumen from you. And then after that, she worked at a restaurant in La Cañada called Reflections. Right now, it's called Dish. And there it was that she met Maureen. Is Maureen here tonight? Maureen, where are you? Is Maureen here? There is Maureen right here. And I want everyone to know about Maureen. Maureen, you have been such a good friend throughout the time you've known Amy. And you drove her to treatments. You were with her throughout the time you knew her in these last 7 years. Give Maureen a big hand. Maureen, you were such a key figure in Amy's life. She talked about you all the time, and Jeff does too. I would always ask, do you need a ride to treatment? She goes, no, Maureen's going to take me. Don't worry about it. Plus, if we would give her a ride, I would have had a screaming baby in the back too. So it was good because my son was relatively very young when she was first diagnosed. Anyway, in the mid-'80s, she started at a comedy club called the Ice House. You may have heard of that place, okay? And the Ice House was a very important place for her to work because that is where she met her future husband, Jeff Herman. Jeff was bartending. She was just hired as a manager. She sat down at the bar, and it's my understanding they hit it off right off the bat.